what is up, everybody? My name is Stefan Tetsu. I am the least... Oh, got that right this time. I am the least popular foreign talent in Japan, the lowest of the low, the garbage gaining, I guess. Still represented by Yoshimoto Kogyo, the biggest entertainment company in Japan. I am back. It's been if you're a longtime follower of Small in Japan, it's been like a year and a half since we've actually really done anything. The podcast feed is down now, but I am here, and I kind of feel like I want to talk to you guys again. Okay, that kind of sounded weird, but you guys get the point, right? I'm back. I am alive. Kind of. Anyways, here's the deal. So Line, the biggest messaging app in Japan, has a new news. I don't even know if it's new. I just probably didn't even notice. But they have a news tab now on the app where you can check out all the biggest and greatest news stories. I'm not sure if this news app or this news, the top news stories are catered for for me personally via like the algorithm or whatever, or if this is just the same news that everybody gets. But I found it kind of interesting. The news stories that are reported at approximately 1:30 p.m. on a Monday, August 8th. So I figured we'd take a look at this together here. I don't know why I've been waving my phone at the camera for the last 3 minutes. I'm not actually recording this, or I'm recording it via my voice, but I'm not actually recording this video just to skirt Yoshimoto rules and regulations. Shh, don't tell them I'm doing this. I gotta be careful about Yoshimoto at this point. Anyways, back to the news. So I figured, just as an experiment, I want to see what's on the Japanese, or what's on Line News just for a little bit, just to kind of see what it is. So here's your Line Japanews for August 8th, 2022, the year of the devil. So the top story, according to my personal Line News feed, I think, maybe this is what everybody's getting, but according to this Line News, the little picture boxes at the very, very top of the screen, the top news story in Japan, for me, is apparently Sakaguchi Anri having money trouble with her husband, who she married like a month ago, I should say, after like a 12-day courtship, which is sketchy in its own right. But that's Sakaguchi Anri for you. But anyways, she apparently gave her husband 400,000 yen, which is like $4,500, and he's not paying it back. And then she posted a bunch of like Instagram stories about him being angry at her, which is apparently top news here. So in case you don't know, Sakaguchi Anri, she used to be like a talento. She was going out with Viking's Kotuge-san for a while. Then her life went to hell. She had like a addiction to going to host clubs, and she was in huge debt thanks to that. And then she started starring in pornos and stuff. And eventually she got out of the showbiz business entirely, I guess, but she is still in the news a lot here. So anyway, she got married to a bar owner. And apparently she posted videos of him kicking stools and stuff all around his bar due to their money trouble. And if you kind of scrolling further down the story, she talks about how her husband was acted like a good person when they were getting together, and then now that they're married and it's been a while, he's kind of stopped being the good husband. Apparently, when they were getting together, they were talking about him having idanna appeal, so like good husband appeal or whatever, and that apparently is no longer there. So we'll see how that goes. That was the top story according to my news app, along with number 2, Ga-shi, the professional troll / shit poster. I don't know if I can say shit on YouTube. Shit. / scammer who became an elected member of the National Diet. Turned his National Diet badge, like they all have like a badge to it's like, it's like pomp and circumstance. But he turned his national diet badge into a necklace, which is apparently breaking news. Ga-shi is an interesting story. He kind of popped up almost like literally the second I went back to America for a year. He showed up. So he's been around in Japanese show business for a while. He owned a bunch of bars. He was friends with London Boots Atsushi and all sorts of people. He owned a bunch of bars in like Roppongi and Azabujuban and all those fancy swanky places where all the big name entertainers all get together and drink and do all their debauchery. But anyways, he had a gambling addiction, lost all his money, and then he started his own YouTube channel as a way to get his money back. It's a whole weird story, but this YouTube channel that he made got really, really popular on the back of him just making like just dishing all this dirty laundry and all these celebrities and stuff and getting people in trouble, and it's not a good situation. But one way or another, he got elected to Congress or the National Diet as part of the NHK party, which is a whole I should have a podcast about the rise of that on its own. And he's anyways, he's in Dubai right now because he's afraid of coming back to Japan because of how much in debt and how many people he pissed off and everything. He's in Dubai because he's afraid that if he goes back to Japan, he'll get shot and killed and stuff, which is kind of not a good situation for a standing member of the National Assembly to be in. But in true Ga-shi fashion, he's trolling by turning his National Diet badge into a necklace, which he posted on Instagram. So there's a little bit of a news tab in between the top box thing. There's like a whole bunch of rows, like stories after that top row, but just for the sake of appearances, I'm not going to talk about those. Like those after the top two boxes, you can keep scrolling left, and then it'll all these other stories will show up. But I'm going to skip those. There's like 3 like actual news stories that don't get boxes, but just get like little like lines of text, which I'll cover in a second. Sorry for the noise. The building next to mine is currently being demolished, so if you hear like weird banging and stuff and like roars of like machinery in the background, that's what that is. Anyways, so I'll get to those little actual news stories in a second, but underneath those there's another row of boxes with more, I guess, big news stories they want me to read. Number 3 is Kojima Ruriko is moving to China to study next year, which is apparently news, I guess. I don't know. So KojiRuri is like so she started out as like a gravure idol who she was really, really big in TV for a while. She had a bunch of different regular shows and everything. But recently that's kind of been winding down for her. So on Twitter and Instagram, she posted a picture. Man, the way I say I said Instagram like a weird, like old, like white lady there. Instagram. Anyways, she posted on Instagram and Twitter about how she's going to be winding down her showbiz career, and next year she's going to move to China and go to a university in China to study. And she said that she's been in the entertainment industry since she was 15. And she had lots of crazy things happen, and lots of funny things happened to her, and that was so great, and she had so much fun doing that. And there was 13 years where she really got to focus on her work and everything. But starting at the age of 28, she wants to start from zero one more time. She wants to challenge. She said, "Ichido zero kara challenge shite miyou to omotte masu." So she wants to start from zero again. And so she posted that on her Instagram, which is kind of I mean, it's interesting to see someone in this current political climate move to China after a long, illustrious, well, not really illustrious, but a long career in Japanese show business. So hopefully that works out for her. Interestingly, she said that she chose China because it's closer to America, or closer to Japan than America. Although, like, China's a huge country, so like if she's like going to like some place in like Mongolia or whatever, that's like gonna be like a longer plane flight than like going to like LA or whatever, like Muramoto-san. So hopefully that works out for her. If not, I'm sure she'll find a way to survive. So the next one next to that, it's a nice little short story about how Cream Stew, Cream Stew is like one of the big Owadai kombis in that, have TV shows in Japan. But Arita-san had another baby. It's a girl. And then so like the news story is super short because he had a baby, and there's not much else you can really say about that. So it kind of has a bunch of fluff about how he announced on Shabekuri 7 in 2016 that he got married to a ippan jose, so like a regular girl. It's always weird how they kind of like denote like regular girls or like celebrity people. They have to like make that like huge like split there. But that's interesting. So yeah, he had a baby. And then so there's 3 actual news stories that I'm gonna go get back to that were there in between those 2 rows of like fluff entertainment news shows that were probably catered exactly to me. So the first one is record-breaking rain is forecast in the Tohoku region. So yeah, we've had a lot of rain here in Japan the last couple weeks. It's also been like blazing, burning hot, like record-breakingly like 120 degrees with humidity degrees hot in Tokyo, like the last week, and it's gonna be that hot again this week. But the other parts of Japan are getting like sieged by like record-breaking rain. They're saying that this week alone, Tohoku, like the northern part of Honshu, the main island of Japan, in between like Tokyo and Hokkaido, is gonna see around 300. They think it's gonna be around 300 millimeters of rain through this entire week. Which is quite a lot. So that's not good. There's been lots of landslides and floods and stuff in that same general region, maybe a little bit south of that, just because there's just been so much rain in all these regions, and also horrible heat, just miserable heat. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced a Japanese summer, but it is not good. It is miserable. I'm a Californian. I'm from Northern California, so we get hot, but we don't get Japanese hot, and that's not good. So after that, they have the second story, and this one's kind of interesting, I guess, but there's like not really any point to this. They said that they can't find one of the bullets that killed Shinzo Abe. So Shinzo Abe was the former prime minister of Japan. In case you've been living under a rock, last month he was assassinated during a stump speech. By just like, if you see the videos, it's crazy. The guy just literally just walks up from behind him and just shoots him multiple times with like this homemade gun. It's like and this homemade gun wasn't like a normal gun. It was like a pretty much like a little mini bazooka this guy built. So anyways, this news story is talking about how he shot him twice. They can't find one of the bullets, which is, or it's not even like one of the things, pretty much one of the pellets that got him. So they checked the body, they checked all around, they can't find this bullet, so they don't know if he just only shot him once, and they just can't find the second one, or yeah, it's kind of it's really kind of an interesting situation there. I'm not sure how you can manage to this entire situation has kind of revealed the incompetency of like the Japanese Secret Service Protection Agency or whatever. But like one of the more interesting things about this this assassination, which I should say is not a great thing, but it's like the connection between the Japanese government and Toitsu Kyokai, the Unification Church, and all the stories that have been coming out in the light of that. So like the assassin kind of got what he wanted he wanted the Toitsu Kyokai, the Unification Church, to suffer, and they're he's kind of getting his wish. Interesting. So yeah, anyways, on to lighter news than assassination. The third story that's in this little box here of text is Tokyo Medical and Dental University and the Tokyo Institute of Technology are merging. And this is kind of just self-explanatory. They're merging. There's it's their way of kind of combining resources, which makes sense. There's less kids being born in Japan, so there's less people to get into these colleges. So that's that. So those are the main news stories that are on my Line News app. For all I know, I can, like, if I refresh the app, like a whole new slot of like random other news stories is probably going to pop up. But for the time being, and sure enough, as soon as I exit out of that story, other stories pop up. But for now, those are the top news stories on my Line News app, and we'll see how much I do this. But I thought it was kind of an interesting thing to check out. So until next time, I'm Stefan Tetsu. You can find me at Stefan_Tetsu on Twitter. You can find the Small in Japan show Patreon at patreon.com/smallinjapan. I'm going to figure out what to do with that. But yeah, we're going to do more of these shows, more of this content. Just kind of had to figure out ways to get around different rules that were in place that are in place now that weren't in place back then when we started the show. So we'll see what happens. But until next time, I am Stefan. Take care, stay safe, and I'll talk to you next time on Japanews. God, that's a bad name. I'm gonna have to change the name. Whatever.